Yevgeny Prigozhin, a prominent Russian oligarch and the leader of the Wagner Private Military Company, PMC, recently made headlines as he personally arrived in St. Petersburg to reclaim weapons that had been seized during earlier searches. The controversial move has raised questions about Prigozhin's influence and the nature of the deal struck between him, Russian President Vladimir Putin, and Belarusian leader Alexander Lukashenko. Furthermore, reports suggest that substantial assets, including a significant amount of cash and gold bars, were returned to Prigozhin by Russian authorities. This video explores the details surrounding these events and their implications. On the evening of June 23, Yevgeny Prigozhin, the leader of the Wagner PMC, claimed that the regular Russian army had launched a missile strike on the Wagner mercenaries' rear camps. In response, he deployed 25,000 mercenaries with the aim of restoring justice. The Wagner Group, a private military company with alleged ties to the Russian government, has been involved in various conflicts, including the Ukrainian conflict and the Syrian civil war. On June 24, the Wagner mercenaries took control of military facilities in Rostov-on-Don and Voronezh, while heading towards Moscow. The Russian capital was reportedly preparing for defense as a result. However, after a conversation with Alexander Lukashenko, the self-proclaimed president of Belarus, Prigozhin announced that his mercenaries were returning to their field camps. The criminal case against Prigozhin in Russia was promised to be closed, and he was offered refuge in Belarus. On June 27, Prigozhin's business jet left Rostov-on-Don for Belarus, and another plane arrived in Belarus from St. Petersburg. The FSB announced that the criminal case against Prigozhin had been terminated. However, conflicting reports emerged regarding Prigozhin's whereabouts, with Lukashenko stating that he was in St. Petersburg, contrary to his earlier claims that Prigozhin had arrived in Belarus. According to sources cited by Russian media outlet Fontanka, Russian authorities returned a substantial amount of assets to Prigozhin on July 2. These assets reportedly included more than 10 billion rubles in cash, 5 gold bars, and hundreds of thousands of US dollars. The return of such significant liquid assets has raised eyebrows and led to speculation about the nature of the deal struck between Prigozhin, Putin, and Lukashenko. The controversial events surrounding Yevgeny Prigozhin and the Wagner PMC have raised concerns among neighboring countries and the international community. The offer for Wagner to station some of its fighters in Belarus, a prospect that worries NATO countries, remains on the table, according to Lukashenko. The unresolved issue of relocating the Wagner fighters has led to uncertainty and speculation about their current locations, which could include eastern Ukraine or training bases in Russia. The alleged agreement between Putin, Prigozhin, and Lukashenko, combined with the return of seized assets, has sparked criticism and speculation about the influence and power dynamics within Russia. The perceived leniency towards Prigozhin and the Wagner PMC has raised questions about the rule of law and accountability within the country. The recent events surrounding Yevgeny Prigozhin, the leader of the Wagner Private Military Company, and the return of seized weapons and assets have generated significant controversy and speculation. The alleged deal struck between Prigozhin, Putin, and Lukashenko, combined with the return of substantial assets, has raised concerns about accountability and power dynamics within Russia. The international community continues to monitor the situation, particularly regarding the relocation of the Wagner fighters and the potential implications for neighboring countries.